Well, this is a little bit of information about the camp flag and Lebanon map. Look first at the equipment. See that we'll get a Kubel, enemy will get a Jeep. Jeep will be in a little different location. There'll also be a standard truck. You can see it's not an ammo truck. It has multi-person seating. Also remember it reloads ammo, so I'll throw away my satchels here, and then we'll go ahead and check that it reloads the satchels. For those of you who are a little newer to the game, notice that standard trucks will reload ammo. So yeah, we have new satchels to work with. So, well, that's of course not the only equipment on the flag. We have a Lafitte machine gun MG34 on a Lafitte mount. It has a very good kit. It has nice telescopic sights when you set it up. Can be very useful. Set that up in the right place, it can interdict a lot of enemy infantry. Other equipment includes stationary 6-pounder anti-tank guns. They're not mobile, they're sunk deep in the dirt for some reason. We have 2 of them, they're kind of diagonally opposed to each other. One on one side of the map looking towards Axis, the other on the other side looking toward Allies. Basically towards the mains or to the direction they'd approach from. It looked to me like these take a while to respawn. Can't move them, but they can hit a tank pretty hard. Okay, well, we'll finish up looking at the equipment here. Go back to the center of the flag zone. You see there's a bicycle in among the tents for whatever use that'll have. Might have some. Up on the guard tower here, it has an unusual arrangement. You can't really get into the guard tower. A ladder takes you all the way up to a platform where a Zwilling anti-aircraft machine gun mount is. Pretty much good only for shooting at aircraft. That's all the AA there is. There's also a sniper rifle for use up here in this particular area. Okay, well, there are 5 spawn points, so we'll take a look at each one. One thing you'll notice, sometimes you spawn inside a cap zone. That's a little unusual for placement of spawn points, but here they are, each of them in turn. You could pay attention to the minimap insert. You can see where you face, where you end up, and at times you will be inside the cap zone. But they are all in shelter, which is pretty good, and of course will be helpful when there's enemy around. Go to the last one here, and then we'll move on. Okay, well, the really most salient feature of this flag is the size of the cap zone. It's huge. I think it's 27 meters in radius, and just has a big reach out into lots of areas surrounding the flagpole itself. See, here we start here. If you can see it in the size of the screen you have, I don't know, but it is about 27 meters. It seems like it varies between 24 and 27, but that's just kind of a flex, I think, in the video I'm doing here. You see it'll reach into these buildings. Start over in this doorway, you can get into the cap zone. Back over here as we approach the flag, it'll trigger the cap zone. See that there means that there's a nice approach from the southeast, so that'd be an area we would come from. You get into this set of buildings here, have cover, and be able to cap it. Go around here, of course it's going to touch on it in the open. That'll be good for our tanks if we've cleared it off. The enemy armor and anti-tank forces. Of course, the enemy satchers will come running if they hold the flag, but since there are no squad leaders spawning on this map, we may have a good shot at getting a gray with this really huge cap zone. It is a big deal. Now this other set of buildings here, you can see if you look at the mini map, that's basically in the northeast. This is where the enemy would counterattack into in all likelihood. It's a great intricate set of buildings within the cap zone, so you can get a lot of little nooks and crannies where you can have lots of cover. If it was traditional squad leader spawn, you know, there'd be some terrific places here. You can kind of see the orientation here on the mini map that's expanding to look at. This particular notch here I think is really good for individual soldier to hide, but you know, you can get into it and start fighting. Basically got to keep these places in mind too as places they would go, so you might wire it up with the S-mines along these doorways. Should probably be done. I'm sure it's been done in past campaigns. Everyone's checked the doorways and blocked them off with S-mines. If they didn't, they should have, and can be done. Or you know, check these areas when needing to dig out soldiers. You know, grenade into these doorways and get them cleared out. See what the reach is pretty big. Also goes into the Quonset hut buildings. Pretty obvious, pretty easy that it does that. So always check the Quonset huts. You get in the inside and get around the corners and into the doors, as you'll see here. Back and around here. Could be a little shelter, good cover, good hiding place. Soldier could survive for a while if he was there and fighting. So to keep all these particular places in mind. Okay, well, as we get out of the Quonset huts here, we'll keep walking around the perimeter of the cap zone and see where it touches on other spots around the perimeter. It includes areas among the field tents, maybe an area we come in from the west, coming through the cornfield. So we'll see in part 2, kind of surrounding terrain, the cornfield could be an avenue of approach for an attacker, so we'd want to be aware of that. Well, here you can see where the cap indicator turns on and off. You can see where you're going to get into this cover if you want to use that as an assaulting troop, or if you want to dig troops out and defending the flag or putting out S-mines. So create your perimeter with this information in mind. And of course we'll walk around the guard tower supports and area here, and you can see the cornfield in back a bit. Okay, well, one aspect we might consider in working this flag is the fact of this open area to the southwest. It may be possible that tanks along with a battle bus could work an assault from this angle if the buildings to the right were kept clear. If the anti-tank gun, the 6-pounder, were kept down and enemy troops were kept off the tanks, the tank could protect itself from troops coming from the Quonset hut there, and perhaps that in combination, tanks and a battle bus spawning in troops, could cap the flag with this big cap zone. Just have to take care of some details and help each other. It could work. Well, we also want to keep in mind the fact that the cap zone extends upwards, and we saw that earlier in looking at the sniper rifle up here on the top of the tower, that in fact the cap zone is touchable on top of the tower here, so there could be a troop or troops up here too.